What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining today's video. Today's video is going to be all about primers. I've had some questions about what primers do they even work? Why should I wear one? They don't work for me, all this stuff. So I'm going to go over some primers that I have. I don't have all that I've used ever in my life. I mean, how can I do that? But I will mention some if I think of it as we're going through the video, or I'll leave some comments down below. Before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment down below. It really does help me out, and I really do appreciate it. As always, I will leave timestamps down below if you want to skip around the video. Now, let's get into the video. Okay, first I'm going to start off by just saying why I like primers and why you should use them. So the reason I like primers is because they do a lot of things for you. Whether it's hydrating, filling in your pores, smoothing out the canvas, which is kind of the same thing, color correcting. There's a lot of things that they could do, as well as make your foundation wear longer throughout the day. Now, not all primers are gonna have like a 5-in-1 type of thing. Some of them do, some of them don't. Sometimes you have to do like a primer cocktail, which I don't mind doing, because if I need a pore filling primer here, but I'm dry here and I want some moisturizer or a moisturizing one, and maybe I want, a highlighting one all over. Okay, so there's different reasons why you want to try different primers. Also, depending on how your skin is doing that day, you might want to use maybe a hydrating primer on the more dry days, or maybe in the winter, and maybe use something that's a little bit more mattifying if you know it's going to be a really hot day and you're going to be sweating and you're going to get oily, or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to talk to you about different primers that I have, some pore filling ones, some hydrating ones, some color correcting ones, and some illuminating ones. Tell you a little bit about the product, so let's get into it. So first up is the Ole Henrickson Banana Bright Face Primer. This is a little bit new to my collection, and this is one where it's going to be your basic primer, but it's going to have your skincare involved. So if you really just want your foundation to lay a little bit smoother, you want your skin to be a little bit more zhuzhed up, a little bit more hydrated. It does also have vitamin C, so it's going to give a little bit of a brightening look. This is going to be the primer for you. It does feel a little bit hydrating, if I didn't say that already. And it does smooth the skin a little bit. It's not going to give you this like airbrush look, but it's going to make the skin feel really great and look really great. It's not going to give you a ton of moisture where, if you're oily, you can't wear this, but it's not going to make you super dry. It's actually going to give you moisture if you're more on the dry side. Does that make sense? I hope so. But I really do enjoy this primer. So if you just need a primer to make your makeup last a little bit longer and make your skin look a little bit better, this is going to be for you. The next product is by Ilmakiage, and ooh, baby, I did not expect this primer to be so good, because it is literally just a clear primer. Like back in the day, this is what primers used to be. Sorry for my swatches, I was filming another video, but it's literally just clear. And this is what primers used to be. They're clear, they're silicone feeling, and that's it. But I'm telling you, this is like magic in a bottle. What is it even called? No filter, poreless base smoothing primer. And they're not lying. If you just want your basic primer that's going to smooth out your skin, it's clear. Clear primers are great for any skin tone, because it's not going to be ashy if you do have tanner or darker skin. And then you don't have to worry about, any tints or anything like that if you have really fair skin. So this is just a really good basic primer if you just want to smooth that canvas out. But I definitely had to give this a shout out. If you want to compare it to something, I would definitely say this reminds me of the Smashbox Photo Finish, just regular primer. It feels like that, but I would say this is better. So this is a little bit different. This is a primer water, and I do have the full size over there, but this is my little travel one, and it was closer to me, so I pulled this one. But this is by Smashbox. It is the primer water, and I was like, what the hell is this going to do for you? Like, it's literally a setting spray, but somehow, some way, this helps smooth your pores. Like, I don't know if it just plumps your skin up or what it does. And it also gives your skin just such a nice base before putting on your foundation. So if you do have drier skin, you're going to love this. If you do have oily skin, you're also going to love this, because it's not going to make you oily. It's also silicone free, alcohol free, and oil free. This is just such a great primer, but I do like to pair this with other products. So what I would do is spray this, put on one of my pore filling primers or vice versa. So if you want a little bit more of a dewy, more skin-like finish, I would spray this after you put on your first primer. This is such a good product that I was really shocked to find out that I liked. Next product is a gripping primer. So I've never used the Milk gripping primer. I've heard great things and I've also heard bad things about it, but this is the Urban Decay All Nighter Gripping Primer. It's a long wear primer that preps, smooths, and perfects. And I've had this sitting around for a while, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, I forgot to use it. Let's use it. Paired with this baby, this is the Stay Naked foundation. It is so good. I also have a video on my Instagram using those two, and if you've seen it, let me know what you think down below. If you haven't seen it, go check it out because it is like, I love that pair together. But anyway, this primer is really going to hold on to your makeup. Again, any primer you use, unless it states otherwise, is going to help the longevity of your foundation. It's going to help it from breaking up and all of that good stuff. But other than keeping your makeup on all day, all nighter, hello, this smooths your face. Like, it literally just puts a canvas on your face, and you would think, oh, gripping primer, it's going to be sticky. It's not sticky at all. And when you go to put your foundation on, and I like to put it on with a brush when I use this primer, it like glides on like butter. It is the craziest thing to me. But anyway, this is going to give you a really smooth canvas, especially paired with their foundation, and it's really going to hold on to your makeup. So, love this one. It's definitely a little hydrating, but it's not going to make you oily. I would say if you use this in your oily skin, I would use a setting spray for oily skin after you're done doing your makeup, just to lock everything in. Alright, so this is an oldie but a goodie, but this is kind of a newer version. This is the Porefessional, but the hydrating version. They have the hydrating, they have the illuminating, and they have the original. The original I have been using for so damn long, I can't even tell you how long it's been. But they're all the same. They all work exactly the same, and the only difference is this one's hydrating, the other one is illuminating just a little bit. Like, I don't even want to say illuminating, it just has a glow to it. So if you're oily, I wouldn't say that you can't wear it. But if you're oily, I would go with the original. If you're dry, I would go with this. If you want a little bit of a glow, go with the other one. They're all going to fill in your pores so well. They have a slight tint to it, but nothing crazy. Looks like that. And it literally just fills in those pores so well. This is my tried and true. I'll never not have that in my collection. And it blends out pretty much clear. You can see. So definitely a great product if you're trying to smooth out your pores. My biggest thing is my pores. Like, that's what I wear a primer for, is to fill in my pores. So if it's not going to fill in my pores, I'm not going to worry about it. Or I'm going to pair it with another product. I have two drugstore products actually coming up. These are by e.l.f. So the first one is going to be the Poreless Putty Primer. Now let me tell you something. A lot of people like the Tatcha one. I returned the Tatcha one. They'll damage it out. Don't worry. They're not going to resell it. I didn't like it. And I did not think it was worth, how much is that? $60? I did not think it was worth $60. So I didn't think I was going to like this. But duh. e.l.f. It's like, how much? $5? This is such a good primer, and I mean, there's no reason that I don't wear it. I just like to switch my primers out here and there, also depending on the foundation that I wear. But this is such a good, affordable primer that is going to fill in your pores. So if you're in the market for one and you really like that thicker type consistency, it's really going to buff in and blend your pores. Another one by e.l.f. This is the Poreless Face Primer. So this one isn't going to be as thick as the e.l.f. Poreless Putty. It's going to kind of be almost like a cream. So I was like, wait a minute. This is definitely not going to fill in my pores. And let me tell you, this was my favorite for a while. And then I started getting, and it rubs out clear, but I started getting like, oh my God, I'm going to run out of it. I got to keep it. I got to save it. So I stopped using it for a while and just tried to play with some other products. But this is another great product from the drugstore that's going to blur your pores. If you don't want to splurge on this one, I think this one's in the 30s, and you don't want something as thick as the Putty, this is going to be a great primer for you. One more pore filling primer. This is the No Poreblem Primer. I do actually have the regular No Poreblem Primer, but this one is more of an essence, so it's not as thick. It almost seems like a serum. You can see it's super watery like that. And this is something like if I'm a little bit more on the dry side or I want more of a skin-like finish, I'm going to go with this. It does have skincare in it as well, so it's going to be treating the skin as you're wearing it. It has calendula in it, which calendula is great for the skin. I don't know anything like technical with that, but I have products with calendula that hydrate the heck out of my skin in my problem areas, so I always love any product that has calendula. So if you're someone who just needs a little bit of pore blurrage, then this is going to be a good one. It's not going to be thick, it's not going to be a putty, it's not going to be a cream or a gripping primer like a jelly. This is just going to be a very thin consistency. Almost, it is an essence, so it's like your skincare. Almost feels like a serum, but even like less thick than a serum. So if you want a nice skin-like finish, definitely pick up this guy. All right, so I have one mattifying primer, and the reason is because I don't really wear a lot of mattifying primers that often anymore. But if I do, I will wear it in my T-zone. And this one is the Bobbi Brown Primer Plus Mattifier. And let me tell you, it is matte. Another one that I don't have here is the Makeup Forever matte one. That one is matte. If you want to stay matte all day, that one or this one is going to keep you matte. This one's newer to my collection. The Makeup Forever one has been an oldie but a goodie for me. Great primer. It's like a gel cream type texture. And I'm telling you, it will keep you matte all day. So if you are super oily, make sure you moisturize, because you have to moisturize before, because if not, it defeats the whole purpose. But definitely pick up that one or this one. Great mattifying primers. This one also does blur pores a little bit. I'm not going to say it does a whole crazy job, but my suggestion would be if you do have big pores and you're oily, put on pore filling primer in the areas that you need it, and then put this on the other areas that you need it, or even on top. Primer cocktails, I would call it. I always do them most of the time. Today I have a primer water, and I have the all-nighter on today. So, oh, also another good primer water is the little ones by Wet n Wild. I forgot about these. These sit on my vanity. They're not as good as the Smashbox. I'm not going to say this one like blurs my pores or anything, but it definitely gives me, I feel like it does help my longevity of my makeup, and it does give me like that nice skin look finish, preps me for makeup. So wanted to give that little guy a shout out once I saw it over here. We're getting down to it. I'm gonna stop talking soon, I promise, but I have illuminating primers, and then I have one color correcting primer. So this one is the color correcting primer. It is Neutrogena. I don't really ever wear this one, but if you do need color correcting primers, these are really good ones to use. Cover FX also has a couple of them as well, and so does Makeup Forever. This is a good one from the drugstore. I think they have a yellow, a purple, maybe a blue, and they also have a mattifying, but I'm not sure how good that one is. But this one is supposed to just be a brightening primer. It is purple. You can't really tell. It looks white. This one's definitely more of a cream. It gives a little hydration to the skin, and that's really it. So if you, with this one, if you have any texture or any other issues on the skin, you're definitely going to have to do like more of a primer cocktail. But just wanted to mention this because there are color correcting primers out there. So if you have redness, Smashbox makes a really, really good one. It is slightly green, so it's like a see-through green color so that it doesn't put too much green on your skin, but it does kind of even out the skin tone if you have redness, and then fills in a little bit of your pore area. That's a good one. And they also have a really good pore filling primer that I ran out of not too long ago. So definitely keep that in mind as well. All right, the last three products, they're all illuminating primers, and I just wanted to give them all a shout out because I like all of them equally. This is the Laura Mercier Foundation Primer Radiance, really nice. This one has, let me see if I remember, like a pinky gold kind of tone to it. can see right here, it just has a slight glow to it. It's nothing crazy. So this one's going to be more of like a rose gold. Then we have the Cover Effects one. This one I think is just a gold undertone. I'll put this one in the middle. So you can see right next to it. It's right here. And then we have Milani Prime Light. So this one is supposed to be strobing and pore minimizing. Yeah, this one is definitely more gold and has a lot more shimmer than the both of them. I wonder if you could tell on camera there. You can't really, but up close you could tell that that one definitely has the most radiance to it, but they all have a slight difference in color. But you can just see, I mean, if you want something that is radiant, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to give you like a highlight all over the face. Some of these might, like the Prime Light by Milani, this one's gonna give you a little bit of smaller pores. I would say it's not gonna be anything crazy. It is oil free, but it does feel a little bit greasy. The Laura Mercier completely sunk right into the skin. There's nothing sitting on top of the skin, so really, really nice for a lightweight illuminating primer. Really just gonna give you a nice sheer, like healthy look to the skin. And then the Cover Effects, I always love Cover Effects. Their primers are amazing. This one is strictly gonna be your illuminating primer. So, all right, that wraps up this video. I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave some questions down below. But again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you subscribed. I hope you left a comment and gave a thumbs up. Until next time, I will see you in my next one. Bye.